I've been going down a very strange rabbit hole this week. Ever since I made that video talking about the vibrating VTuber Fushigi balls, where it's just connected to a heartbeat monitor during a concert, it just vibrates and stuff, and you get to feel your Oshi, whatever the hell you want to call it. You get to feel their heartbeat every single time they, drink a few Red Bulls and just go crazy with the heart palpitations. Ever since then, I have been getting some weird things in my feed. I wanted to go into it a little bit deeper to see what kind of things these VTubers come up with to sell to their fans, what kind of crazy hijinks they can get into, and I was genuinely surprised. There was a lot there. There's a lot of merchandise going around. There's a lot of stuff like perks, all that stuff. Most of the time it's very tame. You kind of have like subscription tiers. You get like certain art, you get ASMR stuff. That's kind of like the norm when it comes to VTubers. But I found one that was just really baffling. I don't know why anyone would want to pay for this kind of thing. I think it's really, tragic if you do, because it should not be a thing. And that is paying $600 for a girlfriend experience from a VTuber. Now, this kind of practice isn't limited to just VTubers. A lot of other streamers do it, and even celebrities in some case. So you pay a large sum for a, one-on-one time. You can play games with them, do whatever, have your own personalized messages, art, everything involved. There's a ton of perks that go into this, but this one kind of caught me by surprise. It almost felt like we were going into the rent-a-girlfriend reality stages here, and that anime already sucks. The manga is absolute fucking trash. The only thing good about it is the art, which is a real crime against humanity here. But I want to talk about this because there is just so many things that come with this service for the amount of money you're paying per month that it just does not seem fair. Now, I'm not gonna say the VTuber's name that's doing this. I'm sure like a lot of other streamers are doing this kind of practice here where you're spending a lot of money just to meet them in person. So I'm not gonna try and dox them over this, but I want to go into this specific plan here because I gotta see what kind of instance would this be worth it to pay over $600 a month, and wondering what you will get out of that if it's like an automatic renewal service. So first thing out of the bat, there is multiple tiers to this. That's pretty par for the course. There's a lot of things that have multiple tier levels for any kind of thing. So you have 6 subscription tiers. They go from free all the way up to 100,000 yen, which is basically over $600. That's the maximum level there. So if you go to the max level, the plan offers a 1-hour private call every week where the two of you make it to see behind the scenes. It's a May. You don't know yet. It's not a guarantee, so keep that in mind. And then a private one-on-one chat with a girlfriend-like level of closeness, and all the lower tier benefits bundled in for good measure. Now, I gotta tell ya, I'm already sold. $600 to, talk to someone for an hour and, have them call me, a boyfriend. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. Sure, I may not be able to see everything behind the scenes, but some sacrifices have to be made. It's a complicated relationship. That's kind of what's going on in my status. I'll have to put that it's complicated in my relationship status for that. But hey, you know what? It's a pretty good system, not gonna lie. Now, you may be thinking to yourself that the perks are phenomenal. I would die in a heartbeat for that kind of deal. But I don't have $628. What could I possibly do if I don't have that money? And what are the other options? Well, if the $628 sub is too pricey, then there are cheaper services available. The Idol Friendship Plan comes with a monthly fan meetups where your $15 a month sub will allow you to talk to the person for 1 minute. You like that? 1 whole minute of talking to someone that you're spending a shit ton of money on. That seems like a legit deal. In times like these, it's a very lonely world out there. You can't meet anyone normally nowadays, so you have to go in for the kill. You have to secure that spot so you can talk to them for 1 minute so you can convince them that you're the perfect person for this. But if you want to move up, you start getting a better job so you can pay for this kind of thing. You want to get into like a better system. The next one is the Idol Best Friend Plan, which is the next tier up, where you get to enjoy a 10-minute monthly call for $70 a month. Oh, and I forgot to mention this, but if you're going all in and want to spend that amount of money, like the max tier, there's only 2 spots available, and one of them is already taken. And guess who's got it? Not this guy. So it's a fair game. It's basically first one in, battle royale style, whoever, last man standing wins until their bank account runs out. So there is a lot to unpack in that scenario. I went and touched upon this in the last video, but I wanted to discuss more about the whole parasocial aspect of this kind of thing, because I know a lot of companies like to capitalize on this. They like to try and give the viewers a lot more merchandise and stuff that they can look forward to, because they really, really love these kind of characters online and they want to try and get closer to them. But I feel like this time around, it's not the corporation that's doing it, it's the actual VTuber themselves. And I don't like this practice. I think it's very predatory, like I said in the last video. But for some reason, it just does not stick well with me when you are actively charging for this kind of thing. It's, like I said before, it's the whole rent-a-girlfriend situation here, where you're not actually getting a full-on relationship. You're basically paying for fake love. Now, while I do think this VTuber in general is very kind, I feel like she's very, in touch with her fans. She likes to get, involved with them. Doing this is kind of controversial to that. It's like, it makes no sense to say that you love being in touch with your fans and you want to make them feel happy when you're just trying to monetize it in that whole situation. And that's a big thing that I don't like about all the live streaming nowadays. A lot of VTubers are out there. You have a big corporation. You have all these people that have just a giant mountain of simps that are just paying top dollar so they can get their messages read out loud, or they want to get closer to them. Not just VTubers in general. Like I said, it's with any kind of streaming service. You have all like the e-girls and stuff on Twitch where they're just like feeding into this kind of situation where they're trying to monetize everything by having all these people pay money for them and maybe get like a few notices here and there, because there are some people who do take this seriously. There are some who get their messages read out loud and they think, oh, well, they read my message, so now like I am their boyfriend technically, in a way. It's a pretty tragic scenario we're in. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know why you'd want to spend the amount of money for this, especially if there's only 2 slots for the top one. Maybe she got her hands full with whoever's got that first slot. I think that's a big marketing strategy right there. I think there's no second slot or first slot that was taken. I think they were just saying that to try and entice more people to, apply for that deal. It's just really sad to see the kind of things that people are doing nowadays, where they're spending all their money frivolously on these people who will most likely never even see them in real life. They're probably losing a shit ton of money. They could be using it to like pay rent, do everything else that could be used in an emergency. But there's a lot of content creators that are using this strategy to make money off it and profit. It's a harsh reality, I know. And I know not all VTubers are like this. There's a lot of ones who are just having fun. They love interacting with their fans. They're not doing it for any sort of profit gain or anything. Yeah, they are making profit off it, but I think they're in it for, the fun of everything, not just trying to capitalize on the people who are spending money on them. So it's just like a few bad apples here and there. But I think you gotta be an entirely different kind of simp if you're gonna be spending this kind of money for this kind of deal. And who knows, there's probably gonna be even more in the future where you spend almost $1,000 just to get their spit in a jar and you get to like have it shipped to you or something. Just something wacky like that. Who knows? That's already a thing. You kind of get that gamer girl bathwater that's been memed about for so long. So it's probably going to happen one of these days, and we're going to just start not going outside anymore and having all this stuff shipped to us. We're going to be living in the whole space where it's going to be people just saying like, you're such a good boy, you're like the best little simp, nuzzles you ooh woo style. So who knows, maybe we'll have an intervention one of these days for these kind of deals. But I think if you can't see the problem with this, then there's something wrong. So let me know what y'all think. I just wanted to talk about this because it was interesting to me. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. See ya.